New York City police are now adjusting security plans ahead of the New Year's Eve celebration that draws every year hundreds of thousands of people to Times Square. The move comes after that attempted suicide bombing in the subway system right near Times Square. The NYPD working closely with federal authorities to keep everyone safe. Let's go to Rick Leventhal, who has what changes are they going to make, Rick?
Well, Sandra, I interviewed the NYPD Commissioner Jimmy O'Neill last night about the challenges that are facing the largest police department in America during these trying times. And you may remember just a day after O'Neill was sworn in, September of 2016, a terrorist set off a bomb in Chelsea. And then, of course, on Halloween of this year, a terror truck attack killed 8. And then 1 week ago, that ISIS sympathizer set off a pipe bomb near the Port Authority bus terminal, trying to kill himself, he said, and as many others as possible. So now, the NYPD's Super Bowl, if you will, New Year's Eve, just 2 weeks away.
I used to love 3 or 4 days out of the year. I used to love 4th of July. I used to love Thanksgiving. I used to love New Year's Eve. I still like them, but I want to get through them. But I know the commitment of there's going to be thousands of NYPD officers, not just in Times Square, but all around the city. And the work doesn't start that afternoon. We've been working on this since January 2nd of 2017.
Are you more worried this year than years past?
Of course I'm concerned, because we have to pay attention to what goes on, not just in the city, but we have to go pay attention to what goes on around the world.
Concerned, but the commissioner says they'll be ready. Sandra?
All right, and Rick, what specific changes can we expect to see on that popular night that happens in Times Square every year?
Well, remember that the NYPD has to adapt to the evolving threat environment. So that means installing barricades and deploying sand-filled trucks as blockers because of vehicle-borne attacks, and putting more snipers and counter-sniper teams on rooftops because of the mass shooting in Las Vegas earlier this year. And then they have to deploy specially trained officers with radiation and chemical detectors and canines to sniff out possible explosives. But now, New York Senator Chuck Schumer says there should be new bomb detectors that are being tested by the TSA in other cities, including Los Angeles, deployed here in New York as well.
Thank God we haven't had a suicide bomber in the New York City subways who's maimed and hurt a lot of people. But it's only a matter of time before ISIS tries again.
Well, the TSA says it may, in fact, bring those devices here. But in the meantime, the NYPD is preparing for the most massive security challenge of the year.
Rick, real quick, do you think this is going to stop people from going out at all?
No, I think you're going to see a big crowd in Times Square like you do every single year. But you will also see more security than you have in years past.
All right, well, we hope they head out there. Rick, thank you.
Sure.